We can all agree that Hollywood knows the best about horror movies and makes the best ones. If you're looking for iconic goosebump-giving movies, you have hit the jackpot because this video brings you the list of top 10 horror movies. 1.
Who's ever down there? I'm gonna lock you in now!
The Conjuring 2013. James Wan directs this film and stars Vera Farmiga, Patrick Wilson, Lily Taylor, and Ron Livingston. James Wan has identified himself as one of the modern masters of horror with movies like Saw, Dead Silence, Insidious, and this chiller movie based on the real-life experiences of paranormal investigators Ed and Lorraine Warren. The Warrens are best known for solving strange cases.
But we prefer to be known simply as Ed and Lorraine Warren.
The film is about Carolyn, Lily Taylor, and Roger Perron, Ron Livingston, who moved their family to an island farm and experienced strange things and worsening nightmares. Carolyn calls Ed, Patrick Wilson, and Lorraine, Vera Farmiga to come to their house and find out what is happening. The Warrens then discover that an evil force is following the Perron family wherever they go. The next part of the story is about how the Warrens use their skills to beat the enemy. This movie doesn't spare the audience at all, and it is by far one of the best English horror movies ever made. 2.
Where's my shoe?
It 2017. Even though it has become so common to declare it, the fear of clowns is genuine. It centers on 7 bullied outcast children who are about to experience their worst nightmares when Pennywise, Bill Skarsgård, a shape-shifting evil clown, appears from the sewer to target the town's children. The film features Sophia Lillis, Finn Wolfhard, Jack Dylan Grazer, Jaden Martell, Wyatt Oleff, Jeremy Ray Taylor, and Chosen Jacobs. The children must confront their fears as the story progresses to defeat the murderous clown. The cinematography and level of detail in this movie are incredible, because Bill Skarsgård's portrayal of Pennywise makes you feel genuinely uneasy. He did a fantastic job. 3.
Toby!
Paranormal Activity 2007. Even though the franchise's countless sequels can be ignored, the first Paranormal Activity was a visionary movie. This film is among the most horrifying ones ever made. Using the creativity of a home camera, Paranormal Activity shows how a young couple lives in their new home. In their home, Micah Sloat, and Katie Featherston both encounter strange occurrences, so they decide to record them with multiple cameras. This movie is supposed to be found footage of what happened after the disaster, and each minute gets scarier than the last. The Blair Witch Project from 1999 and Paranormal Activity are likely responsible for giving found footage filmmaking a whole new level of success. 4.
No, it doesn't. No, thank you, Deputy.
Before the Stevensons moved here, they lived where the Miller family murders happened. Holy shit.
Sinister 2012. The film, starring Ethan Hawke, revolves around crime writer Ellison Oswald. Ethan Hawke, who is desperate for a hit novel after not having a bestseller in more than 10 years. He then finds a film based on a true story about a family's mysterious death. He afterwards decides to solve the mystery by relocating to the victim's residence. As the author conducts more research, the sense of danger grows. Ellison continues to find hints in the movie that point to the existence of an evil force. Hawke's convincing performance as Ellison Oswald creates real fear as Sinister approaches a scary ending. There are a few critical moments in the film where the loud, fast-paced composition gyroscope by Boards of Canada plays, which raises the hairs on the back of your neck. Sinister is the perfect choice for a thrilling night of terror. 5. Suspiria, 1977. Suspiria by Dario Argento is less of a film and more of a sensory and stomach-churning assault. It's a tale of a German ballet academy run by witches and the American student Susie, Jessica Harper, who exposes their evil deeds. This is one of the best examples of how Italian horror master Dario Argento blends his flair for melodic violence with the atmosphere of a fairy tale. When it comes to the movie's plot, follows the young dancer Susie as she enters the ballet school. Sadly, she ignores the girl running in the opposite direction and ends up in a horrific murder scene where young women are skillfully killed one by one. Although the Argento original was subjected to numerous cuts regarding violence upon release, it is still a gory cut above the remake. It was also one of the movies at the grisly center of the 1980s video nasty panic. It's easy to understand why. Its mix of grand guignol shocks and near-garish aesthetics transformed this paranormal masterpiece into something marvelously over the top. Still, the ranking from Italian prog rock band Goblin, one of the best known in horror history, makes chests tighten and palms sweat, wrapping primal fear over Argento's seductive visuals. 6. The Ring, 2002. It is often risky to take something that fits well in one culture and try to accurately translate that strategy into another, but Gore Verbinski did it with The Ring. Verbinski's version of the Japanese director Hideo Nakata's renowned thriller about a cursed tape recording retained the striking visuals of the original film. The ghost of a young girl in a white dress with long black hair hiding her face, and found that it scared the hell out of audiences around the globe. The Ring, starring Naomi Watts, Martin Henderson, David Dorfman, and Brian Cox, is about Rachel Keller, Naomi Watts, a local reporter who is curious about a story claiming that people die accurately 7 days after watching a videotape until 4 teenagers die after seeing the same tape. Rachel finds and watches the video out of curiosity. This is where the mystery of the cursed videotape comes in. The Ring is the film for you if you want a significant scare. You'll feel the main character's feelings because the screenplay is that good.
Why do you have to have every conversation on video?
Because we're making a documentary.
Not about us getting lost. We're making a documentary about a witch.
The Blair Witch Project, 1999. Have you ever wondered why no one is camping in the woods nowadays? It isn't that millennials must be within 100 feet of a charging station at all times. Simply that a whole generation of us saw the Blair Witch Project in our early teens, and we now prefer to sleep inside. This groundbreaking independent horror film is presented as the discovered footage shot by 3 missing aspiring filmmakers, portrayed by Heather Donahue, Michael Williams, and Joshua Leonard. Then, we follow them as they enter the woods to document an urban legend about a witch, only to reveal that some old wives' tales are terrifyingly accurate. The writer-directors Daniel Myrick and Eduardo Sanchez did not create this subgenre, but their assured debut showed the potential of found footage horror films. It demonstrated how a specific formal device could terrify audiences by removing the thin, it's just a movie protective barrier we typically have around horror films. The Blair Witch Project's jittery camera work, grainy images, and grippingly unpolished performances created an atmosphere in which anything terrible could happen at any time. 8.
I cast you out! Unclean spirit!
Shove it up your ass!
In the name of our Lord Jesus Christ!
The Exorcist, 1973. It's almost predictable now that William Friedkin's masterpiece, which has been out for 40 years, is still looming over so many horror films. This is the story of Regan, the famous film actress's daughter, who spends one day in the basement playing with an Ouija board. Through the medium of the Ouija board, an evil spirit can infiltrate the young girl's mind and body. When the film's namesake exorcist finally shows up, the rest is a cinematic legend. This R-rated horror film is the first to receive an Oscar nomination for Best Picture. The film adaptation of the same-named novel by William Friedkin received 10 nominations, including Best Picture and Director, and won 2 awards. The film is famous for the mass hysteria it caused across the country, from protests over its controversial subject matter to audience reports of nausea and fainting. The film's dramatic pacing and dated effects may seem quaint compared to modern horror, but it still has the power to scare first-time viewers. 9.
Mary points the way. Mary points the way. Mary points the way.
The Nun 2018. The Nun, starring Taissa Famouga, Bonnie Aarons, and Demian Bichir, is one of the scariest movies to date. The story focuses on a young nun in Romania who commits suicide. Upon learning of the incident, the Vatican sends a priest with a tragic past to investigate alongside Sister Irene, Taissa Famouga, who witnessed the suicide. When the two of them put their lives on the line to confront the evil nun, they discover the Order's dark secret. In the Conjuring series, The Nun is one of the bleakest and most powerful chapters. We were particularly impressed by the cast's outstanding performances and the film's realistic-looking visual effects. 10. Insidious 2010. James Wan has already appeared higher on the list. Still, before collaborating with Patrick Wilson on The Conjuring, they created this supernatural thriller about a young boy who goes into a coma and starts communicating with a malicious spirit. The story's basic premise could have been more innovative, but Lee Wannell, a frequent collaborator with Wan, gave it a compelling enough mythology to inspire 3 additional parts. Wan also mentioned that Insidious was destined to be a corrective to the actual violence of Saw, compelling him to craft something on a more spiritual level. The result is an efficient chiller featuring what is often regarded as one of the best jump scares ever put on screen. Have you ever had a nightmare inspired by a horror movie? Let us know in the comment section below. If you've watched the video till here, hit the like button and subscribe to our channel to never miss any of our upcoming videos.